Howdy, Possum Patty here. It's March 29th and I'm nature journaling. My thoughts this morning when I woke up were the rain sounds that I was hearing coming from outside. And then I started thinking about the little green sprouts that were out by Sparkly Rock yesterday. And about a rock that I had picked up. And about some sensitive ferns that are out in the clearing. The first thing I did this morning was to go out to the deck and check the rain gauges.
It's a gray, rainy day. We have more puddle wonderfuls and lots more mud luscious. This is my husband's little rain gauge experiment. He made a rain gauge with a wide mouth. Just a jar I think he bought at the dollar store. And it said we had an inch of rain last night. This is a smaller rain gauge. It's marked off in more increments. And it says that we had less than an inch of rain. So, I don't know which one is more accurate, but just to guesstimate, I said we have an inch of rain.
When I came in, I drew a little picture of the rain gauge to mark that there was about 8/10 of an inch of rain, or almost an inch of rain last night. After I checked the rain gauge, I did go out and sit on Sparkly Rock for a while and spend some time with the trees. Just being outside to gather up some inspiration for my nature journal today.
I'm spending some time today with the standing people, and look how happy they are. They're all dancing in the March wind. I'm sitting on Sparkly Rock today. If the trees are the standing people, are the rocks the sitting people?
One thing that I noticed while watching the trees dance was that the red maple trees were in blossom. Those trees are so tall, let me exaggerate here, I'll say 100 feet, that all you can see is little dots of red. You can't see the individual blossoms. I got a good picture of them the other day when the sun was shining.
The maple trees are blooming way up high. These trees are pretty tall, but you can see the red flowers against the brilliant blue sky today.
But as I was walking around in the backyard with my umbrella, I did find some little male flowers from the red maple tree that had fallen down on a log.
But with the heavy rain last night, a few have fallen down on this log.
Right now I'm looking at some of these blossoms with my Zoomy and my computer.
And right now I have one under my Zoomy microscope, which is hooked with the USB cord to my computer. And there's the live image. And if I move it a little bit, you can see the stamens, and at the end of the stamens are the anthers. Whoops. Fell off. Stand by. There they are. And I was looking up some interesting facts about the red maple tree. And one of them is that some red maple trees have all female flowers, and some red maple trees have all male flowers, and some red maple trees have both male and female flowers. So I am sketching these in my nature journal right now, and then I'm going to maybe put a little watercolor on them. One reason why I came out to Sparkly Rock was yesterday when I was out here looking for kyanite. I saw these little green tongues coming out of the ground.
While I was out at Sparkly Rock, I checked the two little green leaves that were poking up out of the ground. You couldn't see a stem or a stalk. Not much of a plant, just one little leaf. This is the Canada Mayflower, or sometimes called the wild lily of the valley. And it has two different forms. And this is one form, just a leaf or sometimes two leaves sticking up out of the ground. Later on it'll get some flowers, and the flowers are very pretty, pretty little white flowers.
Right at the edge of the woods, there's an old tree that was cut down. You can see bits and pieces of it everywhere. The larger trunk is over there. And it's got some amazing fungi on it. I think this side of the tree, the fungus is covered with green algae. Because I believe this is more of its natural color.
Just before I came inside, a log that was laying on the ground caught my eye. I walked on over to it and found some shelf fungus. Some people call them bracket fungus. And this is the mushroom part of it. And this is called a conch, or the fruiting body of the shelf fungus. And I thought at first it was a turkey tail mushroom. So I took one of the conchs off the ground and I brought it inside and I looked at it under my zoomie. When I looked up the details about the turkey tail mushroom, I found that the underside has small round holes, and these are the pores. Inside the pores are where the spores are made. But when I looked at the conch that I had brought into the house under the zoomie, I found it had this amazing maze-like structure and not little round holes. These almost look like Matisse shapes, if you're familiar with that artist. So I searched online and I thought, well, maybe this is the violet tooth polypore because it has a tooth-like structure underneath, or sometimes a maze-like structure. And also a lot of times you find them with algae growing on them, and that's what this green part is. After looking at the log, it was still raining, but it started to thunder.
Time to go inside, do some nature journaling.
Well, this is my journal page for March 29th. It was a raw, rainy day. I went outside to visit the standing people, and they were dancing in the rain today with the March wind. I wondered if the rocks were called the sitting people. I observed the maple trees blooming, found some male blossoms to look at under the zoomie, checked on my Canada Mayflowers to see how they were progressing next to Sparkly Rock, checked my rain gauge to see how much rain we had last night. And just before I came inside, I picked up a conch and examined the log with this fungus on it. Thanks for coming along today. Bye-bye.
I was sketching the landscape, and out of the corner of my eye, over on the right-hand side, I noticed these sensitive fern stalks. These are the fertile stalks that produce spores. These are one of my favorites. Look at the spores on my hand. Fern. These are fern spores. Very cool. They're all over the floor of this clearing in this one little corner.